Hey, gorgeous. It's been a little while. Someone had commented about doing a river house update. We live in it now, and it feels just a little weird for me to, walk through with all my garbage piled, and it's a house now, not a construction project. I'll probably still update stuff, various projects, but you know, I'm not going to tell you where the guns are. I'm just not going to show you, my son's bedroom now that it's his bedroom. But that doesn't mean there aren't things to see, and it doesn't mean we haven't been working. One of the big ones is right there behind me. We managed to put up the rest of the, well, not all of it, but we managed to put up a whole lot of the siding there. Unfortunately, I didn't really store it particularly well. I just left it out on pallets over the winter, and it wasn't super kind to it. I would have done this, excuse me, from the bucket truck, but some idiot stacked all the damn firewood in the way, and that guy kind of messed that up for me. So we did it off of the scaffolding, and I got it as high as I can reach off a stand of 6-footers. But this is good now, even when the wind is blowing. The water off the roof no longer runs down the sheeting, so that's a positive. I got a little bit left. That stuff was from the first batch of siding we cut, and it's slightly different. Not a really big deal, but not there. So we'll save it for a chicken coop or something. I have this, and I have that stack over there, and that's really about it. Maybe enough to do 2 more courses. So we're gonna need us some more wood. Now, Shay and I have had various adventures up the hill, and we have located several trees up there. The problem is, the only thing I own that'll climb that hill anymore is the excavator, and the thought of taking a 45,000-pound completely worn out excavator up into the mountains where something bad can happen in a way I can't get to it, it seems like a bad idea. So I've been tinkering with the old 52 Willys Jeep pickup. I think I could weld up the spider gears, Lincoln lockers, and get it to climb the hill. And my father-in-law is deciding to sell out. So you've seen some of the videos from Dale Steer's collection. He's done. He's going to sell everything. There'll be lots of videos on that probably coming up. But just let me. You got an old car fetish? This guy can be your pimp. Nonetheless, up in his collection, he's got a Cat 22 that ran when parked, and a Vermeer Ditch Witch articulated trencher, and that's the one I truly got my eyes on. Solid axle, articulated, 4-wheel drive. It had a big chain trencher on the rear. We've removed that, and then out the front it had a hoe and a blade. And I've always thought you move that hoe to the back and you have essentially a miniature skidder, and you can lift stuff with the hoe or use it like a small backhoe. Anyways, I'm going to be in negotiations, and if we get that, I'm pretty sure that'll climb the hill, and there's 3 or 4 trees up there that'll cover everything from our siding. But there is a massive buried in the rock pile dead larch that would make our stair treads, and I think those would be pretty epic. If we can't get any of that going, I do have an alternative that Neptune brought us. Let's see now. Right down there in the trees, this is clearly pointless, is a big old log that the ice ripped off a bank someplace, and hauled it down and beached it. And Shay and I went out and rolled it into the water and towed it home like a dog on a leash. Fairly substantial ponderosa pine log. It's got some neat staining because it's been floating in the river and up on the rock piles. And anyways, that's destined to be some more siding, and I didn't have to pay for it. In fact, I looked. I don't even think Montana has any log salvage laws outside of maybe Flathead Lake. Um, Anyways, it floated down, and we hauled it home. Um, it was a neat experience. I had a lot of fun doing it with Shay, and more importantly, right down around that corner is a massive juniper log that washed up there at some point. And somebody else has already had a crack at salvaging it and given up on it. But I think the Nelson boys might have their own go at it. However, till I get a motor on the boat and some numbers on the boat, I don't dare go down there. I ain't rowing back upstream towing it. What else have we done? There's been some things. This is where Shay and I have been working, and it's where I'll work here in between rainstorms today, although that's gonna suck. And almost guaranteed I'm going to slip and fall and hurt myself, and then I'll remember, you shouldn't have done that. Anyways, this is in theory where our garage is going to go. And so one of the things I'd like to at least get functional this year is that door. That is supposed to be the main entrance to the house. That's the mudroom. It's got the boot takey offy spots and the shoe racks and things like that. However, because I couldn't break the rocks in this corner, the house is about 14, 18 inches higher than it was supposed to be, which means I need to build a ramp. It was always supposed to be a drawbridgey thing, but I need to build a ramp, and then I need to build a ramp down over here. So I've been tinkering in my head. I actually have a 58 Ford pickup with no running gear, and I thought you could, I don't know, if I basically cut the center out of it and backed it up there, and then you can have the two headlights as like little yard lights, and you'd walk right through the hood in the cab. Anyways, it's an unfinished thought. And that right up there is a spiral staircase. I don't know, I picked it up a couple of years ago. $75. A score. Picked it up a couple of years ago, and it was a single story, so 11 and a half feet, something like that. However, I know that I can extend the main pillar, and then if I put 1.5-inch spacers and have just slightly bigger steps, I should be able to push it closer to 13.5 without a whole lot of troubles. The idea is that it is going to go right here up to the corner of the house. Gonna have to get up on the house in the future twice a year, at least once a year, to clean the chimney. And this old OSHA-proof monstrosity probably ain't gonna cut it, you know, as I get older and wind and nastiness and whatever. So I was thinking it'd be right there. I thought it'd be kind of cool. It's an old metal staircase. It doesn't matter if it sits out in the weather, and then you zoopity zoopity zoop. So we're going to need to sort of square off this platform, probably with, you know, some drilled and bolted anchors and some rocks, cement it in, do a little rock work, and after that, this is supposed to be the area of the garage. The problem is I need to cut this chunk here out, and I need to take that chunk there out. This all breaks up easy. But by the time you get down about 10-12 feet, it's hard as the gates of hell. So I've been struggling with that. Unfortunately, I can't get the excavator in any location where I can peel backwards. I'm sure I could pop it in a couple hours work if I could peel backwards, but I can't. So I've been coming up with ways that I can break that. I know years ago a viewer found a hammer, a hydraulic hammer, and sent the link to me, and I didn't act fast enough, and it was just in Missoula. Anyways, I lost it, and I kicked myself for a couple of years. Someone told me that there's a local man who's selling a massive cat. He's got a couple of buckets, but he's also got a hydraulic hammer. So I was thinking I'd try and see if he'd sell the hammer separately to me, even if it costs an absolute ass load. I figured I could use it and then resell it, because so far the jackhammer hasn't touched this, And I'm a bit concerned drilling and blasting this close to the house. Anyways, that's on the agenda. And so a couple of days ago, I managed to get the Case Construction King 530 backhoe repaired. So she's back up, and Shay and I have been loading the dirt off these rocks. Get this. Some asshole, absolute asshole, he put the son of a bitch together in the dark, right? When he was tired and racing a rainstorm, he got one of the push rods in wrong. Didn't sit on top of the lifter, sat off to the side. Then that same idiot didn't even notice that he had crunched his valve all the way down as he put the rack back on. Just threw the valve cover on it, turned the key. Oh, well, guess what happened? That piston came up, that valve was in the way, turned that push rod into a frickin' pretzel. That was me. Anyways, now that it's running, we've been shoveling this up. I didn't think it'd be as much work as it is. This pot over here, and I still have to do all that. Spot over there has already been 5 heaped bucket loads. About twice what I expected. But it's really good stuff. Lots of binder, lots of very fine rock, and I've been putting into that sort of hole in the driveway. And I think it'll make good road bed. Anyways, there she be. There's your river house update from what is demonstrably a much older looking guy than when this whole process started. But yeah, things are definitely moving along. It's nice. There's not a whole lot of money heading out, which is good because there wasn't a lot left necessarily. And we're down to doing tinkering projects, woodworking projects, trim projects. Some of it was a bit more rushed than I'd like, and I tell myself someday I'll get back to it, and we all know I won't get back to it. I'll just look at that one angle that should have been coped instead of 45'd for the rest of my life and say, I should have coped that. But you know how that stuff goes. Yeah, that is what we've been working on here at the river house. And I tell you what, standing here with a cup of coffee in my hand, and I just love these big old hills. All the critters are on the other side, really. Not many critters on this side, but occasionally you'll see a bear or something cross up on top. Every few years the mountain goats will come through here. But the neighbors say I should be careful what I wish for, because apparently if they see their reflection in a door or a sliding door or a French door or a car, they'll fight it with predictable results. So apparently I should just, count my blessings where they are. Thanks for watching.